What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is your boy, Dr. OD. We are in Fort Collins, not Denver, Colorado right now, and we are with Dr. Elise. We are about to show you the BTS of how we shoot content, so come hang with us. Let's go.
Let's do this. Hey.
What's up, guys? About to show you the BTS of us shooting content. Who's in the chat? Comment below. Comment below.
Sorry, I keep moving. Am I good? Just getting my lumbar support in place here.
Just prepping.
So this is the rewire method, the copy of how we're writing it out. But I pretty much had, when I was writing like what I wanted recession-proof your business to be about, I was like talking to Claude or Chad or one of them. And I was just talking through like, here's the things I want to teach, here's what I feel like is gate kept, and like, here's what, it's out of true concern of people losing their businesses, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was mostly not from chiropractors, it was local business owners who have reached out who just don't even understand like anything about tax strategy, about their margins, about like what's available to them, I guess you could say. So that's what like, as I was like kind of practicing some of the things too with, once I paused, took a sabbatical from coaching, I was able to like go into our margins and be like, what can I start tweaking in all of our margins? Because before I was like, gotta spend money, like try to get the net down, and not like as intentional of like, I have 4 locations. I can optimize discounts that way. I can leverage that to be able to, like when I'm bringing on someone running my Facebook ads or running Google SEO or more so Google ads and pay-per-click, it's like I can then now have them be like, okay, you have my business month to month to month for multiple businesses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just been nice to be able to, but also I found out how many things I was paying for so many times. You know, it's like, and even like personal things where you're like, oh, Rocky has a Prime account, and I have a Prime account, and there's a business account, and there's multiple business accounts. Like, why are these not under one umbrella? Or like Spotify, just a lot of things where it's like, I was going so hard that, you know, what's $20 here and
15,
there?
yeah.
What I found out like one of my team members had their DoorDash pass under our business card on total accident because they ordered DoorDash for the team at one point,
And just stay logged in.
for 2 years.
Oh.
For 2 years, their DoorDash pass every month was under the, and I was like, you know, that's my bad too. I should have caught that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
But $15 a month or whatever it is, it's like you're not paying attention to those like tiny details where it's like, but that adds up. That's for
Yes.
sure. After years, makes for messy business too. But yeah, so I had like, I wrote out like all the problem sections, the pain points, all of that. But it's really shifting my mind to like, this is for smaller than me for sure, businesses. Like I'm looking at who's asking for help, and I feel like it's a lot of the businesses under $1 million a year that are really left out. You know, like the businesses that are 250,000 a year that just don't even know, like they're just kind of like hiring people on and paying what that person asks, and like having no idea what expectations to set for them and all of that, or just understanding what's happening in their business.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Which can be the majority of small business. Like, to hit $1 million businesses, the percentage is very small.
Yeah.
So it's like being able to help a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like that's just like really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think even with coaching people who are like, or when we're at acquisition and you see people multi-million-dollar businesses, but then you actually see their net and you can see the margins, and you're like, oh, I don't need a $30 million business if my take home is going to be smaller than it is now, and like there's so many stress points for them, you know, where it's like sometimes it's like going lean and having less people, less overhead, all of that is more attractive and better for the bottom line net profit, how much you can pay the people who are in there and how much you can take home too, you know.
Yeah.
So when people say top line, I'm like, it's like an ego number in a lot of ways, you know. I'm like, what's your bottom line?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's that one saying? It's like gross versus net. One's for ego, one's for sanity.
Oh yeah, one's for vanity, one's for sanity.
Yeah.
Dan Martell says that.
Yeah. It's
That's
like
true.
profit
Yeah.
or what is it? Revenue for vanity, profit for sanity.
Yeah.
So it's like that whole concept right there. And I think the other thing with that is anything in life, it's if you don't learn the foundation of the skill set, it's gonna break at some point. Like the law of constraints will so what you're doing is twofold, like helping that business, whether helping it thrive at 250,000 or you're helping them in a season to give them the foundation not to break, right? Like you're giving them more ability to like build a true business, honestly, right?
Well, and with like the recession, there's a point where it's like if your business is 500,000 a year, right, and you're taking home 150,000, let's say, out of that 500,000, and you just maintain through the recession, that might sound okay, but really your take home is going to start going down because every single month we're getting notifications of your subscriptions, your softwares, your anything that you're ordering for products are going up. So it's like your expenses are going to go up, which means your gross profit is going down, which means your take home is likely going down, you know? So it's like we actually have to learn how to grow in a recession to maintain the life that each person has too, and to maintain being able to increase your wages on people that you're paying within your business and all of that too through a recession, you know?
So can we define that? That's always helped me a little bit. Like when people say a recession, to you, how many months is that usually?
How many months is it?
Yeah, like the timeline of a recession.
I've never thought of it in months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read like it's usually like 8 to 12, sometimes 16 or something. Like it's really not that long.
But sometimes it seems like there's not a realization you're in a recession until they economically until the statistics show, and then you've already been in it for a month or two.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, oh, this is the recession now.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when did the pandemic start and stop?
Which is so cool because it's like when you let fear take over or lack of preparation, that's what freezes you or spirals. When you do the work and just get educated, like hearing the word recession, if it triggers you, it's like it's only temporary and you need to prepare for it. Like there's skill sets that you can do going into it, and people also thrive or build in a recession too.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if you can make it through this, you're probably a business that is going to thrive on the other end. So your perspective of going into it with, hey, I have clarity, emotions will come, but I have clarity of the actions I need to take, and I know ways that I can support myself and my business, how I can lead myself, my business, my people, how we're going to get through this. And then you've just strengthened a muscle that on the other end, you're going to hockey stick up too because you were able to make it through that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. I think for me, I'm always proactive. Obviously, we're in healthcare fields where it's like we don't want to just be reactive and be like, oh, just because you have a pain or problem, now let's take care of it. We're like, let's prevent the pain and problem, and that's how I think in business too, is making sure to be proactive so that the hockey stick effect comes, but it's because of the preparation before the storm. You know, it's like and for me right now, that means like getting lean. That is, and in all areas. And sometimes I think it's kind of funny because I feel like Marcus and Libby and like people who are around me, called out, people who are around me, all the like behind the scenes, I guess you could say often, it's like they hear, I'm not frugal, I don't think I'm frugal, I'm very like abundant and like giving in certain areas, like definitely in certain areas, especially when it's business. But then it's like there's so many things that are just not necessary. And even when it comes to like now getting lean, I'm like, okay, I need to practice what I am preaching in business personally. So that means going through all of our personal expenses, and I'm like, we don't need a subscription to Hulu and Netflix and Disney at the same time. I don't watch TV at all, but like we barely watch TV. So like if there's something we wanted to watch on, if a new whatever comes out on Hulu, let's just have Hulu for 1 month. You know, it's like just being like where you're turning on and off things, even what you do minor becomes major.
Mhm.
You know, where I think I used to be in this like abundant mindset of like, oh, don't worry about these, like that was $15, that was
Mhm.
$20.
Yeah.
Who cares about this? Like
Mhm.
if you worry about these little things, you're gonna attract like small-minded, poverty mindset, that sort of stuff. And I'm like, I think there's a fine line of balance between being smart and intentional
Mhm.
and not foolish, because then ignorance builds. Like to me,
Yeah.
it's like what you do small. It's just like your daily habits.
Yeah,
Like
Mhm.
totally.
you keep skipping workouts,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
show up, even
Yeah.
if it's a year to 2 years from now, where it
Yeah.
shows up to everyone,
Mhm.
shows up in your blood work, it shows up.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with it. If you just keep like saying, who cares? It's no big deal.
Mhm.
It's this amount of money, $20. What's that?
Mhm.
You know, it's like it will show up eventually.
That
Yeah.
makes total sense. What's really cool too, obviously, I've never been through a recession, but it's just the preparation and expectation of it. So what surprises people is when they're just like in the clouds, like, oh, it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna affect me. It's like, no, it's coming. So prepare yourself, which is really cool for what you're doing. It's like I've never been through it, but I'm studying those who have been through it and literally allowing them to like help me navigate through the storm.
Yeah.
So then I don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people are like, they can teach you how to come out higher on the other side of it, like you were
Yeah.
mentioning.
Mhm.
And then like you really have to, like, worst come to worst, you just have to hold your breath through those 12 months. Like
Yeah.
people literally in the entrepreneur world, they in their businesses, all you have to do is hold your breath through the recession and you'll get out on the other side.
And stay disciplined.
Mhm.
Don't stop what you're doing. You know,
Yes.
like I think so often when we get a taste of success, recession or not,
Yeah.
we're like, got this. And it's like, but what got you there? Like for us, community is one of our core values.
Mhm.
And how we grew was because we were involved in the community. We are still involved in the community, even though by the numbers the business is very successful, and we don't need to go out and meet people. We don't need to go out and show up at nonprofit events and that sort of stuff, but that is our core value.
The fundamentals.
And you stay disciplined to what you do, where it's part of the nervous system of your business per se, you know? Yeah.
I feel like that's in alignment with a core value. You talk about this a lot with football and stuff too, and we talk about it in our, yeah, and you can explain. I love your analogy that you used. That'll probably help people. And in our business, we're like, when it's good, we do the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, just because we're doing really good doesn't mean that we change what we're doing. If anything, you lean in to continue the simple but constant things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't go, oh my gosh, like now we get to cruise.
Right.
It's like that's when you actually like lean in more, you know?
And when you're scaling too, it's like, okay, you might not be the one showing up at the community events anymore, but now you've got a team that represents that are the brand, you know, and they're showing up because they saw how you showed up, you know, and it's like spreading it out, where it's like just because I think like people might get the ego of like, I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to go boots on the ground anymore because I built to a certain point. And I understand like the exhaustion that can come with that, especially if you did it before you had kids. Now you have kids, now your business is at a certain place and you're like, I don't need to do boots on the ground. I don't need to do guerrilla marketing. I don't need to shake hands and that sort of stuff. And it's like, maybe you don't, but have you grown your business to not just be about you? If your business is just about you, you probably do have to be the one to go do that. But when you grow a brand that's bigger than yourself and represents a full team and is a staple in the community, any one of you can go out and represent your brand, and your brand is known, and it doesn't need to be you. So it's kind of like future pacing yourself with some of that too. If you're an introverted person and you've had to push yourself to extroversion for your first year to 5 years of practice or business, it's like, that's you writing with your left hand when your right hand dominant. You probably don't want to do that for another 20 years. So I think it's like future pacing. Okay, I'm doing this now. It's important now, but how can I bring on other team members who that's gonna like fuel them to go do, because it can deplete introverts maybe.
Totally.
You know. But something I was gonna say with recession, like we were talking about, like with the sports analogies too. The analogy I think of is like with weight loss. I think of a lot of things with weight loss. But I was thinking of like, if you know you're gonna have a baby, and probably not a lot of people are like this, right? But like, this is how I would think. It was like, okay, I'm gonna have another baby. I want to like get my weight down an extra 20 pounds, let's say, and that's when I had a lot. 20 pounds to some people is not, you know, I'm not giving health advice here. I had a lot of weight to lose, like lots of opportunity to lose even more weight than that. But it was like, let's get my weight under this certain amount, because I know with pregnancy I'm gonna gain weight. I know postpartum, I hold the weight on. Like I literally had a 10-pound baby, at home birth when Stella was 10 pounds. And don't ask me why I know I delivered the placenta, so I delivered her, then the placenta, and then they make you have to pee, just so you know. So like you have to pee if you're in the hospital. You have to pee before they move you from your birthing room to like where you get to go hang out with the baby afterwards. But it's like on the clock you have to pee before whatever can happen, or you might have to go get a catheter or whatever. So that's kind of stressful, like afterwards, because especially if you're wanting to move rooms at a hospital or something. But I was like, I gotta pee. Okay, so I'm like, have the midwife wait and doing all the tricks. There's like essential oil tricks to it. That if you smell like a certain essential oil, it makes you pee or whatever. I don't know. All the woo-woo out there. But for some reason, I pee, I get up, and the scale is right there. And I'm like, it's more just like, I just freaking birthed a 10-pound baby and a placenta. Like, I gotta be down. And I, for some reason, had weighed myself like a day or two before. And I got on. I was the same freaking weight that I was like 2 days before that with a baby and a placenta in me. I'm like, that is crazy. So I know, so that was a side note story too. I know that I hang on to weight after a baby. So it's like, if I know I'm gonna get pregnant at some point, I want to bring my weight down so I've got that cushion, right? So that's what I do right now with recession prepping. Like, let's bring the weight down so that when I'm going to put on some weight, because the recession is coming if it's not here already, and it's like, then I'm already prepared. I've already lost the weight, so if I put on an extra 20 pounds, it's okay, because then I'm at my average again. You know,
That
it's
makes
like
so
the
much
visual of that preparation with the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And knowledge of that, which is really, really important. What do you feel like has been like the biggest things that you're like, these, if I had to tell people, cross your T's, dot your I's, here's the things you need to learn or the things you need to implement to make your business more stable during a recession?
Yeah, like to recession-proof, to prep for the recession.
What's up, chat? Who's tuning in?
Recession.
We're shooting some podcast stuff right now. You guys get to see the real BTS of shooting content. You can't see, but all the cameras and stuff. Where's the stream? Over there. I'm looking at all these cameras like, where's the stream? No, you can leave them right there. There's so many. I was like,
5 of them.
Let's go. We're streaming right now, guys. And feel free you can always do whatever you want. Move it. IRL,
The chat said, move me.
Move me. Put me closer. We don't want IRL. We want to see everything.
All right, this is really good for people, though, to see how you create content.
Yeah, it's a new way. Amaze. Emma and Ronnie listen along while we prep the cafe.
Oh my
Miss
gosh,
you guys.
I love this.
Let's go.
We're like, dude, it's the best having a team
That supports you. They cheer you. They all literally. Yeah.
It's like non-negotiable, but it's also like you're still so grateful for it.
Yeah.
Like they literally were like, we're downloading Twitch to watch you guys, and I was like,
that's what I was thinking last night. I was like, okay, now I gotta go get a username on Twitch.
Yeah. We got a few people that like.
We're like, we need
doctors.
a Twitch
They created one so they can watch us.
I also want to. Can you guys do a demo for me?
Yeah.
Of your CRM?
Oh
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, we should record a demo of that too.
Dude, let's do it. I think
I can ask all the questions.
Okay, I feel like this is
shout out Ronnie and Emma.
With the CRM. It's like
Ronnie and Emma, comment some fire in the chat.
Like, you can hand me a football. If you don't know how to use it, it doesn't matter.
No.
It's all in the operator.
Yeah.
You have the proper operator. Same thing with a camera.
Literally what I'm here for.
Anything with a practice. Put you or I into, not in like an ego way, but like put us into that.
Yeah.
I want to
you
do
know
some.
what's gonna happen to it. Put the wrong person in. You know what's gonna happen to it.
Yep.
It's like the CRM's the same thing. You can go and do it on your own or do this or that, but like you need the strategy and the availability to know what to do with the tool and how to set it up.
Even some people on, I don't want to say the name, but the one that you're using for CRM, like people are on there that we have on our calls, and I'm like, so what are you doing with it? Nothing. I don't know what to do. I have it though.
Yeah.
It's like you have to know how to. You have to use it. Like.
It's the same.
Because when we explain it's like, oh, email this. They're like, oh, I already have that. Okay, what's your post-purchase sequence? What's your long-term nurture? Are you sending out? They're like, no, we haven't done that yet. How long have you had it? 3 years. We just don't know what to do with it. So you have it, but you don't have the strategies behind it. That's why you need to.
Yeah. How are you collecting leads at all of your events? How are you collecting leads on your social media? How are you co-collecting leads with other businesses that are like, hey guys, here's a coupon to put in your newsletter that links to ours, and we get all of that smoothie shop's data. Like stuff like that.
That's
and same
brilliant.
thing. Yeah, we have
It's
so
crazy. We have so many people.
Yeah,
They go
no,
do.
I'm not- I'm all excited. We love
Go ahead.
business. But
Yeah.
like even in the cafe, we sent out emails for chiropractic. I'm like, we're getting texts come in. Oh hey, it's just like
Do
consistency.
you put a booking link in there?
That one was a text too, but we totally could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we'll do like newsletter exchanges with other collaboration partners or
Smart.
first partners, but then we write up the blurb they put in there. So it's not like we're not getting their email list, because it's like email lists are so private, you know.
Yeah, people don't want
But
to.
no,
You
and
can
there's
people
like
used to sell.
legalities.
People
I
used to
think-
sell
yeah,
email lists.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't
There's
anymore.
legalities around a lot of it too. But we'll like write the blurb and have the booking link, so then they can just go and get that special
That's good.
and book it and pay for it.
And then
right
you're
there,
getting
too.
their information when they do that too.
Yeah.
But you know,
yeah.
a lead magnet too would be good in something like that too, of like impacts top 5 summer stretches.
Yeah.
And now they're not committed to booking or payment, but you're getting them in. They're a soft nurture.
Yeah.
So now, and you tag them on our CRM. We tag them like impacts this, and now we know that email sequence that's going to be for. We know exactly who.
Yeah.
And we have strategy
You
around
can
it.
follow all of that, and make sure you're not
1,000%.
embarrassing yourself too with sending to the wrong tags and
Yeah.
all of that. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
Like someone who did become a client, someone who did it's like
Yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah.
need to now be under a different tag, so then you're not sending them new client specials and that sort of stuff too. It's like
Yeah.
it's just keeping yourself really like clean.
And
with all that.
and then that's all automated. Like we have a form that the office, it's super clean, and that they're just like click. The front desk is like, cool. Let me click. They have no idea the depth on the back end, but it's one little form. It's like once this patient comes in, oh, click, and it automatically in your CRM or in your HBA software takes it from that, moves them into this pipeline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you
Yeah.
know. The same thing if they go from a pay in full or a membership or whatever, and now they're paying per visit, that gets updated in the CRM too. Now it goes into a pipeline of pay per visits.
Because yours turns into be like a CRM, almost EHR. Are you keeping your notes in there or no?
No, none. Straight
But your
CHR.
ledger is in there, right? No.
Here's this, like all your point of sale, like you would keep track of payments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine isn't. So we do it. We have so many still built out through cash practice or whatever.
Yeah.
But I see the pros of the back end of it, Stripe. Again, the back end of it's so robust in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to recreate any wheel. We're trying to share what we has changed our offices, and we've tried to like when you're working with a physical therapist or a chiropractor, you're trying to explain these things, and they're like, how do I, what do I, or a personal brand. You can build all you want if you don't have a way to collect leads, to organize it, and then to monetize it.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Well, I think you need to know where you're going too.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'll say like I have a huge list on Kajabi, but I'm not sending out emails because I've been in this place for years where I'm like, I don't want to send out emails just to send out emails.
Yes.
Like I want value to go out, and then when I'm in a place of like not feeling creative and just not energized for it, I just don't. It's like it's better to send nothing than to bombard an inbox where you're gonna get unsubscribed from with like either pushy sales all the time, never adding value into their inbox. And so it's like I think knowing where you're going with it, because sometimes even like you think of our EHRs, how many emails we have, and if we don't go and do reactivations of people who aren't patients, it's like it just sits there, you know. So if you can get systems like yours where you're automating those things, this person is going to be eligible for reactivation within this many months, so then they get put into that sequence, that funnel, that nurturing system, and so it's less to think about too, you know. It's like just keeping it organized, and then your system will do the work.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that I've seen from people literally is they're simply not capturing the leads. Like that's the most important thing. Although you have that list, you'd rather have the list and do nothing with it than you have this.
That's my head.
You have this product or something that's now you have a scrape list to sell. It's like you have that if you need it.
Well, and at the end of the day, your Instagram followers, you could lose
Instagram
those
can be
overnight.
gone. Yes.
Yeah, you need to have your list.
Yes,
Yeah.
you own
Yeah.
that audience.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and then people aren't nurturing them as also. Like so, if someone doesn't convert what happens to that person? They just fall away and never. It's so hard to get someone back in the door with you, so to speak. So anyone who comes in the door, they're interested at some capacity. So even if they come back in 9 months, or 6 months from now, 30 days from now, 90 days from now, some people just let them go and then never talk to them again.
Well, and it's interesting because 13 years in business now, 13, you'll meet people, like you'll run into people 5 years later who haven't been in your place of business, and they'll still, or like now they meet my team, so they don't even, and they'll be like, oh yeah, my chiropractor's great, who do you see? Impact Chiropractic. And you're like, no, like
That's
they
so cool.
still think we're their chiropractor, even if they're not still on a plan. So it's like they are still coming back there when they want chiropractic again. So it's just funny because I think as business owners we can feel like we were broken up with or something like that. Where it's like, no, they're still dating us. We just haven't had a date in a long time, you know?
And I couldn't figure this out for so long. Like, why do I still see signs that says Pepsi, McDonald's? It'll just be an M. It'll just be a Jimmy John's logo, Amazon, the little check. I'm like, why are they doing that? They're so big. Why are they still marketing? It's like keeping you top of mind. Like always. So even with our practices of nurturing those people, it's like just sending out value every periodically. Like, wait, my ankle does kind of hurt. Like, wait, why don't I go see Dr. OD? Why don't I go see Dr. Nick? Why don't I go off the bench? It's like just keeping them top of mind, just watching what the trillion-dollar companies are doing and just do it in our businesses as well. It works. They're doing it for a reason.
That's if everyone who chose to be a business owner could put on like the glasses of what do other businesses I frequent do.
Yes. What the business that
it doesn't need to be some secret strategy or anything like that. It's just showing up, or it's just that awareness, engagement, consistency. It's nothing that's like mind blowing, really. At the end of the day, it's just doing it.
Totally.
And that's what we did with the cafe as well. It's like, so people are going to be hungry every day. They're going to eat. But they have all these restaurants to choose from. But if they just saw an email from you of a scone or a bowl that looks really good, so when they do get hungry, what does their mind go to first? What they last saw, maybe? It's McDonald's. They're like, oh, let's go to McDonald's. Let's go to Starbucks and need some coffee. Like, so you're just seeing it, and when you do get that, you know where to go.
But if you create scarcity around it too, like I think of that with coffee shops in the area too, where it's like Sundays are cinnamon roll day and that's it. And once they're gone, they're gone. And people are there getting those cinnamon rolls, you know, as early as
But if it was available every day,
they don't care. I think the
That's
other
so cool.
really cool thing is like back to what we were talking about is how you do anything is how you do everything. So when you set in the mindset of how can I automate and get as many things off my mind and me having to do, because the thing is it might not be that big of a deal. We had a client yesterday, he's like, it's not a big deal. I see 11 patients. We're like, it's not a big deal at 11 patients. It will be at 1,100 patients. We're going to start the way that we want to finish it too. So it allows for you to start to automate and offload. This was a huge unlock for me. I was like late to the game in it or something. But how much decision fatigue was happening. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. I got it. I'll just pick up the grocery. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to choose that. It's not a big deal. It's a real thing. So if you're thinking, I need to follow up with that person, I need to move that, oh, I need to check back in, Susie, I need to check this list and run a report and go over. No. The other thing that happens is that it gives you the skill set of basically knocking out needing to add on more team. You're knocking out, like you're making more efficiency and automations where you would have fit in more people and overhead. And that doesn't mean that you're going to replace your people. Like our team, we talk very, very, very candidly and straightforward with them of like, our job is to replace the things you're doing and move you into higher level thinking and doing. We're not replacing you. We're doing the same in our own lives. Our job is to continually replace like what we're doing. So it gives you this like platform to also automate things within your business, take out like a job or two with a software that will never be emotional, will never have a bad day, will never forget, will never go off like.
Well, and it's likely not taking out a job or two of anyone who's coming to work with you guys because they likely weren't even doing it before. So I think sometimes when we talk about things like automations, leveraging AI, bringing in virtual assistants overseas, like people can get really, have feelings or thoughts about that, like you're taking a job away from like a community member, an American, something like that, and it's like this job wasn't already someone's that we're talking about. We are talking about up leveling and increasing productivity within your business that happens while you sleep. We're not talking, and literally might happen while you sleep with someone overseas too. But it's not like it was someone's job that we're looking to fire to, now bring on someone at a lower dollar amount. Like, that's not what we're talking about. Like, when we're creating these systems, it's definitely to make everyone more productive in their role too. It's like, if your team isn't utilizing AI, every single team member, if they're not utilizing it, they're not at a high level of productivity of where they could be.
Yes.
I think that's the other thing too, is like being able to have your team understand that. Like, understand that through and through, and realize that in doing this, the whole team moves forward. All of their goals, all of their big visions, all of the bigger impact they want to make on their community, all of the more they want to make for their family and their own table, this is to move everyone forward, right? Like, it's for everyone. And it's actually the responsible thing as a business owner to look, where can I make this more efficient? Where can I cut the fat? Where can I create systems so that my team can be more effective? Because then they're in their green zones. They're also more joyful. They're creative. They're thinking inspirationally. They're thinking outside the box. And like, that's where now your business is starting to be an ecosystem of its own. And you're out of it, and it's actually like growing.
And I think it's creating tools for your team too that takes the pressure off of them. They don't need to worry about, like with your guys' system, they don't need to now monitor these people for reactivations, we'll say. They don't need to send the first text message or the first email checking in after their first visit. It's like all of that is automated. So it is taking stress off of, it's like, to me, I think of their plate, and we're taking all of these things off their plate so that they can show up at a higher level if they're forward-facing people, provide a higher level of customer service, patient satisfaction, all of that, because we're taking a lot of like data entry, we're automating a lot of things so that they're not getting decision fatigue. They're not like, I gotta track this person, I've gotta follow up with this person. And we built a GPT just with our whole company brand, and we trained it with like all of our softwares. We trained it with our personalities types of each individual team member. We trained it with we put all of our playbooks in there, so every training manual is in there. We put our ideal client avatar in there, so now our team can just have it up on each of their computers and utilize it so that they don't need to think too much. You're still going to use your brain, but you don't have to discern what you're asking it if you want to go send that email. But it's like to respond to emails, to respond to texts, to know like this is something that would be within the company culture or brand or core values as a response. And it's like it's taking the pressure and stress off of them too.
Totally.
So I feel like it's just utilizing these things is helping everyone. And even with virtual assistants, so let's talk virtual assistants, because we all have virtual assistants. So we have virtual assistants in different realms, so within marketing, and that's something too, like we're not taking jobs from someone we had in our businesses. So when we're talking about these virtual assistants, this has been us up leveling to the next level, and also playing the game in my mind of what the big companies are doing.
Crazy.
You call American Express, you call Wells Fargo, you call
been doing for a long
Comcast.
time.
You are not talking to someone from this country, and we all know that. But like, who do you think is coding your SEO and on your website and building your WordPress and all that? A lot of that's outsourced. And so it's like you're getting the forward-facing salesperson, and then they're outsourcing it, quite frankly to me, to highly qualified, brilliant freelancers in all different areas. So when we've tapped into this, yes, I've let go of agencies, marketing agencies, because this is where I feel like small businesses really get taken advantage of, because the big guys are out having their own in-house marketing team. They have access to other resources that like Google gives them access to another door that the rest of us don't have. And so like there's just it's a different level, right? But for small businesses, I think they're the ones who are getting these agencies who are like, for $7,000 a month, we'll manage your Facebook ads. That's not your ad spend. That's them managing your ads. And like these small business owners don't even know what that means. They don't know how to hold these agencies accountable. You can actually go on Google. So on your Google ads, you can log into your Google ads and see the history in there and see, this is how I've caught some of the agencies that I've only had 2 agencies that I've let go. But I can see you are in here for 7 minutes a month max. And then they were bidding against keywords that I'm like, that is not at all what we, like that doesn't even align. Like open on Sundays, we're not open on Sundays. Why are we trying to, like, maybe that's a strategy where they think they're just going to capture more people because that's but I'm like, that's not integrity to me, which is one of our core values. So there's just so much where you can go and outsource experts who are already working for these agencies anyways and bring them in-house. But then for us, we've been able to support our in-house team significantly by looking at like what do they not need to be the ones to do, and what puts them on a computer screen instead of patient facing, instead of holding babies, instead of loving on our people and building that community. And it's a lot of like data entry stuff. It's a lot of, we have 17 different softwares before you actually like get into our EHR pretty much. So it's like, okay, let's go to Acuity, grab this information, let's go to Go High Level, grab this information, let's go, it's like gathering all that. They filled out the paperwork, now it needs to be data entered into the EHR. So all of that happens when we sleep. And it happens at a high level, like highly detailed, very rare mistakes. So then when we wake up and we get to work, we're prepared. Everything's prepared, and it didn't take someone staying late there to make that happen. Right?
What I say about VAs too, like they work so hard. They're not as entitled as what we see here. Like they're willing to do the work, and they're very thankful. Like we get thanked every day from our VAs. Like, thank you so much for this opportunity. Here's what I'm able to do. It's like, and they work so hard for you. They're less like, how should I say this? They're just very thankful for the opportunity. Whereas here, you get so entitled with pay, entitled with raises, entitled with this and that and that. What's in it for me? What's more in it for me? There is just like, they give. And I'm like, go to sleep. Like, you don't have to work today. Go to sleep. Take the day off. Like, our team works so hard. And I'd rather have a team that I have to pull back. Same with like football. Or I'd rather have the player that I have to pull back and practice like, hey, slow down a little bit. Rest your body. Then the person where you're like, come on, work a little harder. Come on, like you told me about your family.
Well,
like
you get into your own head too when you have to motivate others. Because you're kind of like, am I asking too much? And then you're like, but I've seen what's possible in this person or in this role, and so it's like almost starts to gaslight you when you have unmotivated team members that you are having to motivate, and then all of a sudden you get VAs who it's like, anything else you need, boss? Literally. Yeah, there is a high level of gratitude, a high level of work ethic, to a concerning point where we're like, do you sleep?
Literally.
You guys need to sleep over there. But you're also not making mistakes, so thank you. It is, it's just interesting.
Going off the back of team as well, like, it only makes your team more efficient. Speaking from like marketing and videographers and stuff. Like our videographer, we just got him 2 editors as well that he manages, and it just makes him so much faster and more efficient. We're not taking his role away. We're just moving him to higher leverage activity, to where now he's, through his team, he's able to produce like 3 times, 4 times the output every single day, because now he has help with editors. But the highest leverage activity now is him being able to do copy, him being able to do the actual posting, him being able to do the thumbnails, be with us more to capture the moment. So you can't be with us all day capturing moments if he often has to go edit every single little thing.
Or he's thinking about
editing. He's like, I don't want to film this because I already have too much to edit. But now he's like, oh, I can just shoot and dump.
I mean,
it's a real thing when we come take a seat.
And it's super human too. We said that to him, but like, this is one of your super qualities with our teams, is that he just directs it like, Peyton, you should be recording this. And Peyton knows it too, and he's like, hey man, I understand you have so much to edit, like you don't want to record more. That tells us that like, we need to get that offloaded so that you're excited and creative about recording more.
I think it's direct communication. Like even earlier I was like, hey, I know I'm asking you to do a ton. Like you have a ton on your plate. I'm a creative as well. So I know shooting that, filming that. We're asking for sometimes unrealistic deadlines. But if I allow you to Friday, but if I say today and it's done tomorrow, I understand. But if I told you to Friday, you would have expanded to the time that I gave you. But then being direct is like, hey, so the next step, then always giving them that like next picture. So he knows it's not always going to be a reality. Hey, next, you're going to have to step into leadership and manage the editing team. But right now, you're refining those skills, and it's going to be a whole nother like thing that you have to do next. So it's like just telling them what's going to happen next, so they know that's the season of life.
Well, and even with deadlines, it's like however long you give yourself, or you give, it's like that's how long it's going to take. If you need to get a speech ready, and you have 1 day to get it ready, you'll get it ready 1 day. If you have 30
Always do
days,
mine
it'll
the
take
same
you
day.
30 days to get it done. You know,
Literally.
it's like that's just a law, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing when we're setting these expectations too. And then it's just tapping in and checking the pulse of like if we are setting unrealistic expectations, if everything's important and everything's urgent,
Yeah.
then
It waters
it's
down.
like,
It waters down some stuff.
Yeah, then it's like, okay, reassess what really is important, what really is urgent, and like what is a good productivity amount to set to. But you don't know if you don't like push it, you know?
Yeah.
You don't know if you don't try.
I think
Yeah.
one of like the most awesomest. Just kidding.
I don't know.
The dopest.
The dopest.
One of the dopest things about you, Elise, is that you share everything that you're doing. And a lot of people have VAs, they just don't talk about it. Like I know a while ago, like we were even like, ooh, do we like tell people that's where we edit? And we were like, yeah, like we're just gonna, even twitching, we're just gonna share everything always, right? And with talking about like, okay, a VA, one of the things in the beginning that I thought is, okay, it's just this like thing that I do and have, and they just do it. That would be like I was so silly and naive. It's like, that's hiring on someone and expecting them to come into your office and just do it.
Yeah.
Come into your cafe, come into your property, and just, you have to train them, onboard with, communicate with them, and you can cut out a lot of the middlemen or a lot of the fees or a lot of the things when you take this person on as a teammate. And then you have a relationship. Like our VAs, every day we're like, we love these people.
Yeah.
We're like, we can't wait to fly to the Philippines and like make them
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's gonna be the best day ever.
Well, and again, you're not replacing people you had. Like, I think as business owners, we've decided to double down on marketing, triple down on marketing, to get into YouTube, to get into personal brand, to get into, like, to keep tapping in and to keep pouring into certain areas of our business. One of those being marketing. And that is, like, I don't want to outsource to an agency.
Yeah.
I still want our brand, what's happening in our businesses to be captured.
Yeah.
But how can I make this happen so that the people who do help with that are getting a good income, you know, but not having to do everything, right? To have everything covered in that, because we can outsource. So it's like, I don't know, I think I get like feisty about small businesses, about the little man, or about like the, you know, like it almost brings back to like playground memories of like the small kid who got picked on or whatever. I feel like small businesses are that all the time, and then we're sitting here like just trying to people please when we're hiring. We're like, oh, well, we don't have great healthcare benefits. Well, because they're not offered to anyone who has 50 or less employees, we would have good healthcare benefits if it was, you know. It's like all these things where it's like, but the reason all of these unlimited PTO, which anyone who works corporate who's been told they have unlimited PTO, I'm like, they're working 80 hours a week and then trying to get it. Like, it's so rare you actually hear this unlimited PTO. Like, it's a marketing tactic from an HR standpoint to get people in. But it's like, when you hear these things, it's like, y'all, Google, Amazon, they're able to offer this because 60% of their employees are being paid $2 to $5 an hour overseas.
Crazy.
So think of how much more they have to be able to give you this corporate package when you sign on with a corporate, like a large company. Small businesses aren't doing that. So that's where I feel like we're tapping into this game. And it's like, if we can outsource and bring on tasks that don't need to be done in-house, aren't disrupting. Like, I haven't even brought on phones being answered because I'm like, that's still important to me, that it's the people in office that are answering the phones right now. That's just something, maybe when we're not there, that's something that I'd come up with, or like an AI bot, just to have some sort of information there when someone calls. But besides that, it's like, how do we make sure we don't lose the human-to-human connection that our businesses are founded on, you know, but also like not put all these extra tasks on our team that they don't need to do, you know, that someone else could be doing to support them.
So good.
But we're not taking jobs from everyone. Like, I think that's something to consider. And when we're bringing on VAs, it's to double down in other areas. It's to like someone to manage your emails, someone to like just thinking about the needs of like, do I need to be doing that, or could someone else be doing that? Someone to edit your videos, someone to run your PPC ads, someone to do your go high level behind the scenes, someone to do like your strategies. You know, there's content strategies. They'll build your content calendars. They'll do your Notion templates. They'll do. It's like there's so much there.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as a small business, when you're making better profit margins, we spend the money back into our community, like Amazon, Comcast, like all of those things. Like
that
when
was
we're
like my rant.
when
I'm
we're
like,
able to be healthier, it goes directly into the things closest to us.
yeah. Amazon isn't paying for your local little league.
Oh yeah, no.
You know, it's like
Donating to hosting.
Walmart's not showing up and donating at the silent auction of your local nonprofit.
Yeah, they're
maybe
not
a Susan B.
eating
Komen,
at
and
the
that's
coffee.
a whole dwindling
Another
cycle we
thing.
can talk about
Yeah.
of, you know, tax sheltering money and all of that. But it's like locally, it is the small businesses who are giving back. But then it's like this, oh, but they don't offer health care. They don't offer like certain benefits. And it's like, yeah, the margins aren't there yet until we start to get smarter, get more intentional, and tap in where we can to make sure we can, you know, manage those margins.
And so many people get, I like to say, they get fat in their business just hiring on people just for the sake of hiring people.
Yeah.
It's like, make everyone on your team very efficient. Because even like the survey that we were doing, and some people were like kind of bored or whatever, it's like, that's good to know. Because they have more capacity, like they're understimulated with their roles.
We were so
and you're just
excited
hiring
about
more
that.
teams, it's like, we can literally put more on their plate. They want more on their plate.
Yeah.
And then making it efficient. So we have literally someone on our team who's a VA whose job is to look across the businesses and talk to members, and whatever someone's doing repetitively, how can we automate that? How can we systematize that with software? And if we can't do it with software, then it's definitely systematized with the person doing it. But oftentimes we're doing repetitive stuff. And it's like you're working at a factory in a healthcare business. It's like literally like a factory in a healthcare business. So it's like, how can we automate any of that process so our docs aren't getting burned out, which is high burnout rate between physical therapy and chiropractic. It's like, what can we do for that?
Yeah. Yeah. So in one of my mastermind groups, I have an orthodontist and then I have a dentist, and they have actually hired on dentists overseas, like they're full-blown dentists, to help them virtually in office. I don't know exactly what they're doing, if it's like helping with certain things with plans and notes and that sort of stuff, but it's like they already have someone highly trained that they can bring in to support them virtually in that way too. So I think it's like you can get access to everyone. You want to develop an app, you can find someone who has developed apps. But I think it is like not just going, so a lot of people with VAs, they'll just go on Upwork, they'll go on Fiverr, and that's like what's known. What are other ones that I feel like are talked about?
PH Jobs or whatever.
Yeah, people don't know about that.
Oh.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's when I use.
That's where you go to direct.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
because those ones are, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because
Those
they're more
are
like the Indeed
you don't
for
own
the country.
You don't own the platform.
Yeah. So
That
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
I'm going more Indeed for that country.
Straight to the source.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they already have been vetted. They've gone through background checks. They've even gone through like all of the Myers-Briggs.
See their rankings,
and that sort
all
of
their
stuff. You can see reviews
surveys,
from other people, but it's not project based. You are bringing on. It could be project based, but most of the time you're bringing on a part-time, full-time employee overseas. So I still treat that the same of like writing a full job description and the ad of who I want. They're filling out culture index in their primary language. So I can see, are they high detailed? Are they low detailed? Are they slower? Are they going to be quick, but maybe make mistakes? You know, I can see all of that before even hiring them, and then taking them through the interview process of a proper interview, of a proper working interview, whatever that looks like. You know, for our video editors,
test projects.
it's like send me your portfolio, because I don't even want to go in an interview if I'm like, that portfolio is just like they do the same thing over and over, and that's just not what we, you know, that's probably not what we jive with. But then it's like, here's like Marcus sent his videos in to have like folders of videos, raw footage to send to editors. They know what like our brand assets are. Also, are they going to go and do the research and look at what we've been putting out? You know, to see if they're matching that, or are they just thinking what they do is the best and just sending it? You know, are they going to be adaptable, listen to feedback? All that, you can get that just in seeing how they submit that sort of stuff. And then it's just the accountability around, like, I feel like you are huge on accountability with team, of making sure your VAs are having team meetings, they're being managed, there's metrics and KPIs that they are responsible for too. It's like, it's not just, I think it's easy, and I've done this with VAs or people in person, like especially in the beginning, it was kind of like, okay, you have experience in this, you got it. Yay, good job. And it's like no accountability whatsoever, because I'm like, oh, you know. But then I think now with hiring VAs and all these different areas for us, It is not making your main admin or few admins or few team members in-house now have to be great at customer service, be great at technical work sometimes, like ours will take x-rays, and then now you're our social media reels person, and you're also sending our newsletter, and you're, you know, it's like all these roles can now go to experts in their area, and then it's tapping into like the importance of what you need to watch as a CEO. Like,
So
what
good.
do you need to really monitor, or who can it filter through before it even gets to you to catch the spelling errors? You know?
Yes.
So many thoughts.
Yes.
My brain could explode.
Literally.
I think that's like one of the things too when you bring on a VA. It's the same skill set when you bring people on in your office. If they're like, I want $100,000. Cool. Let's talk about what it takes to get to $100,000.
Yeah.
The same thing happens with a VA. Is like, hey, I want $1,200 a month, or $800 a month, or $600 a month even. Like, cool. Love hearing that. Cool. Let's talk about the skill set. There's still training that goes on behind the scenes to get them there too. So that was something that I would say is like, we don't talk about type thing, but you can offer them, we're going to start here and negotiate, like offer that, because you always want to leave yourself wiggle room. They will take time to train, just like bringing on an associate. Like, when is that going to actually be profitable for the business? Not off the bat. So if you have the expectation and the reality, oh, I'm prepared for this. The same thing with a VA. You want $800 a month? Cool. Let's start you at $600. And let's work you up to $800. Here's your KPIs. Here's what needs to happen. Here's your percent. Like, all of those things. So you're switching that mindset for everyone of, this is a team member. And the same skill set that I nurture and lead and coach and pour in, I'm utilizing with my virtual team as well too, which is super, super important.
And even with like virtual, sometimes if you're not hiring on VAs or you're just hiring on agencies, you don't even know. Like, for us, at least, I can have 2 to 6 VAs for the cost of one person in house. Would you say it's like roughly there? It just depends what you're hiring on. It's going to be more if it's someone specialized in, like, you know, Google SEO, or even someone who really knows Meta. You're going to pay, if you're going to pay more for people who know what they're doing, versus like data entry. You can get for, in my experience, for significantly lower, like 20% of what you'd pay someone in house to
So
do.
good. I've had my VA my head VA for 5 years, and
That's amazing.
He just took like 2 days off the other day. I was like, whoa, wait, he's actually never even like taken days off. I was like, oh shoot, do you want to take days off? Like, you literally have to, like, one of ours from Egypt. Egypt is a good place as well. I had no idea, so he DM'd me and was like, oh my gosh, like, I look up to you so much for physical therapy. He's a physical therapist in Egypt. So just like you said about the dentist.
So cool.
So he was like, just like normal message, and he was like, oh, I live in Egypt, but I work and do sales for a solar company in California. I was like, oh, so you're doing like VA work. He's like, yeah, so I'm a VA for a solar company in California, but you're a physical therapist. Are you looking for a job? Like, I wasn't even looking to hire anyone. He came on. He's one of our best. Not even like VA. He's one of the best team members. He's like in charge of like revenue generation. He does ads and stuff. Beast. We did. We sent it. I want to see it.
Good.
He might be socialized. He's a beast. I'm excited to see what he said.
Because once you culture index, then you can take that profile of him virtual. But if you needed someone in house, we can hire for that person. Same characteristics and same strengths.
Yes. That's really good.
So it's like a profile we can just, we can.
That makes sense.
Yep.
I'm excited to see that.
Guess how much he can make as a physical therapist in Egypt a month? His top.
I have no idea.
$200 a month.
Yeah, $200 to $300 a month.
$200 to $300
full time.
And it's probably a livable wage, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think sometimes we have this weird guilt of even, I know you're paying him more, but it's like, sometimes I think you can see like, oh, this person is only requesting this dollar amount, and to us that would not get us anywhere.
Yeah, you can't put your living on.
It's a very different, like, go to Bali. You will live like a king and queen.
Internet entrepreneurs, right?
Yummy food, like yummy fruit and all the good things for a fraction of what you would spend here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's just a different cost of living.
You have to reframe.
And that's why they're so
you're giving them what they're asking for.
Yes.
Anyways, and that's what I like about when you're hiring. It's like you're not just, you can name the price of what you're doing, but you can just go through profiles and you can start to see like, how much do people get paid for what I'm asking? So that it's not like you're going in totally blind, but like that's why we're not gatekeeping this, because like we've had to learn this and
for sure.
go through this process.
Paid to learn the
Yeah,
skills,
For sure.
paid to
Yep.
play.
And it's so
Now we're just sharing so
and
that
then we
people.
have like a Slack channel. So we have our Slack HQ where all of the businesses are on HQ, and then each of the individual brick and mortars have their own as well. So most people are on 2 Slacks, but all of our VAs and all of our marketing freelancers are in, even my personal brand video editor is in HQ. So that's nice because if they need to tap into like my executive assistant, or they need to tap into Marcus for videography, or there's someone else they need to get something from, like let's say it's like Google Analytics, well, I've got a website developer who then can put Google tags on, because we need to be able to get the metrics of, if we put out Google ads, what campaign is really performing and who's booking and paying for an appointment, not just a lead to your website, not just a cost per click, because those could be bots too. So it's like, then I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Talk to this guy, and I can just set them up in a message really quick. And so that's really handy for like efficiency, but obviously there's like WhatsApp and Voxer and like if you need to be vocalizing, but then we Loom a lot too. So like when we first brought on our 2 VAs who manage, like who do all the data entry for the clinics, we'll say, they're basically, I think of them as my Zapier for all of the tech stack of the offices of the brick and mortar. So they're my Zapier, that happens at night. And when I brought them on, all we did was just Loom what we did. We had playbooks, but like there was so much more of like, we need them to visually see every single click, and they also need to like log in virtually. So that is an SOP too of how to log in, and then having passwords, like I set up all their emails under my domain. So that way if I need to switch something off, like it's admin at, and then it's like, and I have,
just turn them off.
yeah, you can turn off, add on, like with Google, all of that sort of stuff. So there's a lot to think about with security too. Like I have a bookkeeper overseas. So my bookkeeper
So good.
is
That's huge.
Like,
So I
That's
get-
huge. We were thinking about that. It's good to hear that.
So
I get 7 I have 7 accounts on
Marcus, I'll grab it in a
QuickBooks.
second. It might be in that bag.
What are we looking for?
A battery. You guys
dude, this is huge.
Yeah, that's
We were
good to know.
talking about this,
Are
like,
we still twitching?
yeah, we're
Yeah,
still
we-
twitching.
Oh,
What's up, Twitch?
Twitch for life.
Let me check this.
Twitch feel
People are
like.
loving it.
Is the word
Um,
Twitch something when people are on drugs?
Maybe you can
They
That's
twitch?
tweak. Well,
Tweak.
you do,
Oh.
you do Twitch as well.
Peyton said he wishes he was here. Peyton, we were talking about how you bunked in the little bed,
Is this dead?
and how you had seen Elisa's house
Maybe-
before
Oh, no, this is-
Odell even.
Okay, sweet.
Maybe we can charge this and.
Peyton!
This has been
Hey, do you
a.
want
I think
me to
my-
make you some eggs?
Peyton, do you want eggs?
Do you want Elise to make you eggs?
Elise
You know
is
what?
gonna
I have
make
a
you some
separate
eggs.
USB right here.
Enough for, I don't know, just you.
A 2nd grader.
Make Odell sleep in the bed is what Peyton said. You have to, just to, I don't even know, feel the pain with him.
Yeah, Peyton, do you need any built shirts? Rocky's gone. I can go in his closet.
He's a trooper.
He said scrambled, please.
Let's see if that works.
Just take a walk in my shoes is what he said.
Take a walk in my shoes.
I can't. Sorry, so.
Marcus,
Yes, ma'am.
my microphone is red. Is that okay?
Yeah, that means it's recording.
Okay.
I can see your battery over here. We're good.
P-Dog.
All right, I'm gonna try.
You gonna do what?
Okay, we're
You're gonna do what?
stop talking about bookkeepers.
Yeah, bookkeeper overseas. Do you guys want to switch?
Like, we just need to efficient. The more you learn, you can't unlearn it. And then what people are doing, you're like, what?
I know.
This is
Yeah.
like, I'm paying you how much?
Do you guys want to switch locations?
What time?
We
is
can
it?
go.
Can we stay here for one more shot?
Yeah,
It does feel hot over here.
because we can do one camera handheld too for some stuff.
I don't know if opening this will make things better or worse.
No, worse. I already know.
Just another beautiful
She's like,
day,
nope.
and It's
I know the
nice
answer
little
to this.
Colorado day, but like at
12:10. I'm gonna have the babysitter like making lunch and stuff, so then we
Okay.
can go somewhere where we don't hear.
No problem.
We could go to the office, or we could go outdoors, but I feel like that could be really sunny. Or we could do,
Is it shady underneath this deck?
maybe over there if you want to check that.
To the right side.
I
And we can do
don't
some
know.
standing too, where we're literally just standing having a conversation.
That table is really nice too, if it is shady.
We
Baby,
can
will you
boom.
fix my lash?
Huh?
Will you fix my lash?
I like how you went to
What's
open.
wrong with
Want
it?
me to look at it?
It's. You,
Where?
It feels like, you know when it gets like where you feel like your lash is like
I don't see it in there.
cockamamie?
Like in your eye.
No, it's like probably just out of place.
You guys want to see a eyelash out of place?
I don't
Like-
see it.
Okay.
Wait,
you got
yeah.
it, so you know where it's at, don't you? Yeah, it's literally right there, and then I can see it in my subliminal.
I couldn't see it.
Like, this
Yeah.
is gonna help people so much.
So feel free to clip out because I was like, do you guys not want me to say the word go ahead? Are
We don't
are
care.
live
We don't
right
care.
now?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
But
The thing is like,
But people know it.
people know what it is.
Yeah.
We say HBA software, but like some people in our software know it's how, like.
Well,
But we don't-
Even
It
like
doesn't
my
last,
like
though.
go high level strategist isn't doing what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
it's, like, actually
They could
a
just set up
fact.
landing pages for our ads, and like it's like they know certain parts that go with meta ads, not go high level.
Yeah.
As the whole like running your
And
actual whole
What
CRM.
we're finding now too is like they need the coaching more than they need like anything, like the how-to,
Yeah.
the strategy. So like we just were like, cool, you have to have this software. You're gonna pay $97 for it flat. We have the HIPAA verification, all this other stuff. Makes
Templates, you coach them.
templates, how much we've
The
spent the
strategy.
last 2 years,
Right.
3 years. So what we did is like, we're like, just make it an irresistible offer where it's like, we pretty much put it at the price where what we charge for the coaching alone and said, you get the software for free because we essentially know we won't get the results of what we're recommending to you if you don't have the tool of the software. So it's like a win-win. It's like if you don't want to use the software and you just want to coach, cool. So much of what we're telling you will need this tool set.
Yeah.
So we've like
What-
switched it.
Have you guys, maybe you're already doing this, but what about letting them bring in their operator?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah, they have-
Do all
Yeah.
this, to do all the, like, I think about like Travis Stewart.
Yeah.
So he teaches Kairos how to do meta ads in-house.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times it still is the owner doing this program, but when I reached out to him about it originally, he was like, yeah, just have like your main, like have a main person, like I could have Marcus, I could have Libby. It's like having someone where it's like, I want someone I trust and is in-house with us
Yeah.
to learn this, that isn't me, but is someone in here, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, if they brought in like a key team member to
We
join
have
with
someone
you
who
guys.
brings in there.
And we'd
too.
actually recommend that to people. Is like, send your go high level person. Gab will have a office hours too. We'll have
Yeah.
a coaching. Send them and like, we love ours to be a safe place for business owners to talk numbers and strategy. But that more technical one, Gab will pull stuff up and like show it, do it. They'll talk a language and a level that none of us will even understand.
Yeah.
And then we get
It's
to
like our
talk.
videographers talking
We
to
get
each
to be
other.
in the clouds on the other call, going, Elise, what if we had this here and this here? Oh yeah, and then you could have a landing page. Blah 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 blah. Gab's on that call too.
Yeah.
Is he coaching? No, he's listening and he's a wizard. He's going, yep, I got that. Yep, and he's writing it down for his team.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just next level. It's like what we
That is so cool.
and it's not that much more. Like, you're paying $100-$200 more for that. Like, I know I can create that value for
And
you
it's
in one call.
accountability too. It's like it's gonna get you to do it because how many of us have bought a program, a course, a software, and you're like, I'll get to it. You get a 30-day free trial and you still don't use it, and then you start
Yeah.
paying for it. It's like
People
this
don't-
is like
yeah.
this is getting them to like show up
And
and do
honestly,
the work.
we don't care. We could recommend them our Go High Level affiliate link. We get a payout pretty much the same as like
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter if you
It's
want
not
to do
about that.
it.
It's
If you
about-
want to do it, go do it.
That's
Literally.
literally how I always feel about coaching too. I'm like, I don't want you to just pay me $10K and not do anything. Like that doesn't
Literally.
sit well with me. Or if someone signed
Yeah.
up for like a care plan and then they didn't show up to get
Yeah.
the results, I'm like, I'm not
You-
here for the money. Like that actually, hurts the reputation
Yeah.
of my companies, right? Because
Yeah.
you will be like, oh, I tried that and it didn't work. And it's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. I can show you the back end.
Yeah.
You did 5% of what's offered.
make a
So
And
like,
this is
that's
why it
how you
didn't
get
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I only want to work with people who will execute.
Yeah.
Like bottom line. That
And
is
I'll
it.
say the other thing is like
You
we
can take her camera too and
are
get this too.
in a space where we are
Stop.
very much so working on businesses.
Mhm.
A lot of the wonderful, amazing healthcare providers we get to work with are in a space where they're being amazing, awesome healthcare providers.
Yeah.
So when they hear the words, and I was like this too, I'm like, you're speaking, I kept saying, I don't know how many times I said to Odell early on, dating when we weren't dating, best friends, business owners when we were probably dating. I'm like, chiropractors don't know this. He's like, how do you not know this? Like, what about a CTA? What about a CRM? We've said this nonchalantly, the three of us. Pipeline, tag, automation. They don't know any of that. And it would be my recommendation that they don't at this level.
Yeah.
Like, why? We've spent 24, this man.
I don't want to know this
You
stuff. If I'm being honest, like, I don't want to know
There's
this,
a
but I
small
have had to,
Me too.
to at least hold people accountable. If you are hiring some of that out, it's like, if you don't know what's going on with any of that, then like, and you're like, why are we getting these results? Well, if you can't go back and like have some sort of substance and context
Yeah.
on it all.
Just like us.
And this is what's gonna, so like, that's even like the NPS scores.
Yeah.
Like, we have that in our Go High Level too, right? So, our HBA software, Go High Level built out. Those NPS is how you take
They have a
the
pulse on the business.
emotion out of it too. It's
Yeah.
not me going, Dr. Maddie, Dr. Kylie, Madeline, the office isn't clean. I'll walk in there, I'll be like, what the heck? Like, pick that up, clean that in my head. And I'm like, Abby, get yourself together. You have no idea the day they had. You have no idea the patient load. Talk myself out of it. But that allows a space for me to sit down with the people that I love and that are helping. I get to help them get to their goals. They get to help me get to mine. And instead, they're saying, dang, Dr. Abby, they already know. We only have a 2 out of 10 on our cleanliness. Hey, this is what, like, they want to do right by you. They want to impress, they want to do. Now I'm not having another emotionally draining, like, coming to my team with, this is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong. It's like you have a objective pulse, non-emotional. Guys, we're at a 2 out of 10. What's our core value? What's our goal here? An 8. How are we going to bring that up? This is unacceptable. Everyone on the team's like, this is unacceptable. Yeah, how are you going to fix it? We're going to fix it. Yeah. Okay. Everyone feels good and walks out. Or we're here in Denver, we're wherever, helping, teaching, speaking. And guess what? We can look at that and know that our community is getting the level that if we were in there, at least 80%.
The dashboard of,
I kind of missed the conversation a little bit, but so sorry if I repeat, but that's so important. That's how you can literally manage the business while you're traveling, right?
Yeah.
It's just those key numbers, 7 numbers, like your scorecard.
And
essentially.
real time. Like,
And
it
it's
needs
unemotional.
to be real time.
Yes, like unemotional.
Yeah.
Now you can have a pulse on what's going on in the business, revenue. Like I tell the team, if we hit these 8 things, we have a healthy company and we will continue to grow.
Yeah, and
So-
most people don't get, most people aren't tracking these metrics, or most people don't have a real-time
It's crazy,
dashboard.
yes.
And so even the way like accountants and bookkeepers work,
Yes.
you're getting your books a month later after it's all happened, and it's like, how is that helping you
Yes,
with
I don't
what's
want to.
happening
Yes,
right now?
yes. Don't tell me about what happened
Yeah,
last month. It's
yeah,
like, tell me in real time so we can
Yeah.
course correct. Okay, we didn't have metrics this week. What are we going to do different
Yeah.
to hit them next week?
Yeah.
And so many people are just like, here's what happened, just living in the past. Rearview mirror their entire business.
Yeah.
It's like, what
If
good
they
does that
even
do?
look at that. You
Literally,
know,
literally, they're at the end of the
because
year, like,
I'll
what?
ask for financials too when I'm coaching and consulting, and they're like, oh, my accountant's behind, my bookkeeper's behind, and I'm like, I'm asking
What?
for last year's, and it's June, so you don't have last year's done, and it's been 6 months since last year, and it's like, that is pretty normal.
Yeah.
That's pretty common.
Yeah.
And business owners are like, let me go and ask someone else. And I'm like, so then you haven't even looked at it.
Have to
Like,
know
you
your
don't even
numbers.
know. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
You have to know the numbers.
It's like
That's
knowing
it.
your body numbers too.
Yes,
Like,
that's
do
it.
you get your blood work? Do you?
Yes.
Like, and you know, there's back and forth. Like, you have to be able to analyze your numbers too. If you take your blood pressure and it's higher, why is it higher? You know, it's not like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Why is it higher? You know, and it's the same thing with your business. It's like, if your net profit is lower than normal, why is it lower? Oh, well, I did a pay in full on my property taxes for the year this month. Like, duh, that's why this isn't something to get emotional about. Like, let's go
No.
see why.
Yeah.
And it looks bad, but in the annual, it's going to all
Be
even
fine.
out. Whatever.
Sports fans are the funniest to me because they know everything about the athletes.
I know.
Oh, he's 6'4", he ran this speed, he was this tall, his hands were this big. Like, fan fanatics. I'm like, people couldn't even explain all those stats you're doing about another human who has no idea who you are.
Yeah.
You're not even part of the team, but you couldn't tell me one thing about yourself.
Yeah.
That's how some people are about their business as well. It's like, do you track your own numbers that way? The way you track, like, athletes, and when you're, like, doing those betting ads, the over-unders, like, they know the numbers for that type of stuff, but they don't know the numbers for themselves.
Oh, let me take
Blows
this to
my mind.
a personal level. Do you know your kid's shoe size? Do you know
Wow.
your kid's teacher's name? Do
Yeah.
you know, it's like, they might know these metrics on athletes and they don't even know these basics on their kids.
Crazy.
You know?
They know everything about them. Their shoe size, height, speed, their wife, their drama, where they're drafted from, where they went to high school.
Batting
It blows
average,
my mind.
I know, all
It
of
blows
that
my
sort of
mind.
stuff. Yep, it's like what you put your time and
Yes.
energy into is what's going to grow.
And as a high level athlete myself, like people always, oh, did you hear about this trade? Did you? I'm like, I'm not following other people like that. Like,
Yeah.
and then we obviously know a lot of professional athletes, professional artists and stuff. They don't, like, the people we work with, they don't care about you in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they don't know who you are. Like, you're
Yeah.
a huge fan of them. You know all these stats about them. They don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And when I was in the locker rooms in the NFL, people thought it was kind of funny. Like, it was like 8 a.m. We were going to practice, and there's like grown men with their shirt off and face painted. And I'm like, don't you have to, like, they just like, they don't care. Care more about yourself. Like,
When you were playing football, I can't remember if it was college ball you told me this, but you would like get done and then go like DoorDash or Uber or something like that.
Yeah, so people thought I was crazy. I loved it. So after we got done like winning the game in college, it was like the best night to Uber because everyone's out, everyone's celebrating. So I would literally go home, shower, eat our post game meal, and then I would just turn on my Uber app, start Ubering around. So then like I would pick up all the kids who were at the game, and then if they found out that I was like on the team, like older people, I would get the best tips. Like, cause they always want to conversate. I'm in there listening to Gary Vee, like mindset stuff, learning business all the time, and I'm like, dang. What do? You look young. Are you in college? Just to go to Western. What are you studying? Cool. Did you go to the game tonight? I'm like, I did. I'm actually on the team. Like, yeah, I played. They're like, what are you doing? Why aren't you out like partying and having fun and celebrating? I'm like, this is my celebration. Like, and then they would like give you a big tip and stuff. But
that is, I feel like
that was
that
my
speaks
life.
to your work ethic that you don't talk about enough in my perspective of like, you give credit to a lot of like, you posted about buy back your time this week with Dan Martell's book and like how you've integrated that. And I'm like, you were totally doing this before that book was out. You were totally, like, you had an app for your scooter company. It's like you had an online business coaching before, while you were in grad school. It's like you were already grinding, but then you were also, from my perspective of listening to you, like choosing things that were so different than what other people your age were choosing. You know, like they were choosing partying, they were choosing drinking or whatever it might be, and you were choosing to grind it out, hustle, and make more money by Ubering after your football games.
True. Thank you for that. And like in the time, it's so uncomfortable because people look at you like, because it's not the norm. Whenever you're doing something outside the norm, people think you're crazy. Even when I was like DJing and stuff during college as well, it's just like, what are you doing? Why aren't you out celebrating? Why don't you go to the parties with us? It's like, why would I do that when I can make money from taking you to the party? It just did, my mind did not work the same. So like in the time, it's like hard. But now on the opposite side of that, why I was doing that all played out for a reason. And now those same people are coming back and asking like questions. Even some more guys in the NFL, they're still trying to learn business and marketing and branding strategies. And it's like, now you understand why I was doing what I was doing. So they kind of look up to it in a way as well. So some people get like, it's uncomfortable in season sometimes, but when you know why you're doing it, in the future it's going to all play out the way it's supposed to. And then it's all going to be worth it.
I think so much too, like now you show, like you've got Twitch, you're showing the behind the scenes, but it's like the true, in my mindset, the true behind the scenes like started when I was in 8th grade.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like,
that was when I was a W-2 employee at a grocery store. Like it's like it started back then. It started when I was picking rock in fields. You know, like it just started back then, and it's like okay, even if you can show what you do now, it's like the only reason you are doing what you're doing now is because of what you did years and choices you made years ago, or sometimes it's like just environments we are in that we didn't get to choose too, that formed us to be who we are now too. What got you, because I don't know if you talk about this much, so you can always clip it if you don't want to. You don't drink at all. You've never drank.
I've never taken a sip of alcohol. I've never taken a puff of smoke.
Not even like cigarette smoke?
Nope, I've never.
I'm like,
even
what else can
it.
you smoke? Obviously.
Vapes and hookahs and stuff.
Hookahs,
no, I always tell people like, I get very obsessive. Like I'm an obsessed person. So I'm very self-aware. So I don't touch anything that I don't, like what's the good out of, for me, alcohol. Like even in college, I used to be aware, like, okay, they would get, like people on my team or people in college would get drunk. All I hear the next day is like, I'm never doing that again. And that's all I was hearing, and people doing this, and I'm like, why would I ever, like what good do I see out of that? So I just never touched it. And I'm an extremist, so just always been self-aware with that, but I've never taken a sip.
It's amazing you had that awareness young though.
Mhm.
Like I can't even imagine that level of commitment to self-awareness and discipline to not like taste something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But if you don't have I always say like if you don't have a taste for it, I don't know what it's like. So like if I was, my fear is like I will try alcohol and I will like it.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it once a week. Then I'm like, okay, 2 times a week won't hurt anything.
Mhm.
Then it's like, all right, just a little wind down at night every night. Then it's like, oh, I'll start at 5 instead of 7. Then I'll just be like, I'm very self-aware.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And I feel like you've just channeled it into such healthy things.
Mhm.
Whether it's like obsessiveness with business, some people
Yeah.
would say, is that healthy, is that
Exactly.
not? But like,
That's why you gotta have these circles of who.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like that's
yeah.
good.
I always
Yeah.
think of it as chapters too. Like the obsession was great,
Yeah.
and then once I had babies,
Mhm.
that I was great that I obsessed and was grinding
Built
it out
what you built.
before
Mhm.
because now I have the cushion.
Yes,
you know,
that's how I
like
wanna
now
set
I
mine.
can
Yeah.
bring on other people. Like that's where it's like it doesn't have to be me,
Mhm.
and I don't have to have the other people hustle. No one's gonna hustle at my level because I'm not going to have them do that. You
Yes.
know. And so it's like just getting the support of your team
Mhm.
to offsource some of your hustle,
Mhm.
but also like have that trust and know it's going to be done at a level of something that you're proud of to represent your
Yeah.
company too. But it's like the hustle that went in before other chapters where you like now, you know, travel
it's so
for
cool.
travel for a month and you know, it's like before you maybe wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
it's like leadership. That's why I love sports too. It's leadership. It's like what are your goals?
Yeah.
Here's the reality of getting there. It's like I want to do this. It's like, all right, you're gonna have to work hard in the business and find out like how like what you do has to link to revenue and it has to be this.
Mhm.
Like numbers don't lie. So if that's your goal to make 100K as a doc, here's the realities. You're also not gonna be able to just like turn off for 5 days of the week and go home and just clock off if you're looking to
No.
Leader.
run all the clinics or
Yeah.
something. It's like,
Yeah.
no, realistically, you're gonna be on 7 days a week.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna be me.
But
So,
you
like,
might not be needed in those 7 days
Yeah.
too. That's where it's kind
Exactly.
of like,
That's
but you have
what-
to be
that's
open
us.
to you
We're-
might be needed.
The
you
roof
know?
right now is getting looked at, or we're gonna fix the roof on the duplex, and it's like you're just always on. But it's like
Yeah.
how much stress? Business is like how much stress can you
That
handle,
doesn't
right?
bother me. It's like
It's like-
another problem to solve, you know?
Yes,
Like
that's
that's
what it
out of
is.
your control sometimes too.
Yeah, some
you
people
know?
can't deal with it.
Probably
Yeah.
actually enjoy solving
Mhm.
issues and having high
It's entrepreneurship.
risk
Mm.
and
Easy.
high tolerance to discomfort
Yeah,
Mhm.
yep, yep.
from whatever shaped us or formed us. But that's also that whole like overnight success
Mhm.
type concept. It's like you look back into the decisions both of you have made
Mhm.
for a very long time. That's why you're standing like right here in the reality.
Mhm.
And the people that are able to be self-aware of that and say, oh, everything is a reflection of something that I get to change.
Yeah.
There are always those people that will take everything as like a, oh, it happened for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, I can,
Yeah.
this means I
Always.
can change it. Same thing like, oh, this came up in our team. Cool. It means something we can like pour into, learn, change.
Yeah.
That's like a core value of what I have seen in successful people is like no matter what they're given, they choose to look at it as either a learning opportunity,
Yeah.
a way that they can grow, or something that like they can make into a positive.
Yeah, like not fall victim to it.
It's all
Exactly.
perspective, just like you said.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
ways how you can be raised differently.
Yeah.
2 different people can end up with the same result based on perspective.
Mhm.
Like it's all perspective. Like some of our NFL athletes, nothing. One of our guys, he had to BK. He talks about this. He's got drafted like this year. He had to get shipped back to what was it? One of the African countries because his mom here couldn't afford to like have him here. Then he come
Like
rough
just him
upbringing.
out of the other siblings.
That same perspective, that same perspective got him to where he's I never want to like be scarce for money again.
Yeah.
Then somebody else who's like grew up like out here and have the they trainers and stuff, they can also end up in that same position. It's all perspective.
Yeah.
Then there's people who, in his position, they'll use that same thing and say, well, my parents never did this, or I grew up like this, so I can't have this, or I can't have that. Or it can be your fuel, like, I grew up like this, I would not let my kids do
I
that,
need
and
to
that drives me.
escape this.
But
Yeah.
some people stand
Yeah.
It
because
ends with me type
this isn't
thing.
my family. It's
Right.
like, it's all perspective on everything.
Right. Well, and sometimes I think like when you're on a podcast and someone's asking you like how you got here, like the startup and stuff, sometimes I'm like, trauma.
Yeah.
I
You wanna know
don't
the
wish
truth?
that upon anyone, and I don't
I'm
even
traumatized,
really
okay?
talk about it. You
Yeah.
know, it's like I don't wish this upon anyone, but like, and sometimes even with like our own kids, like raising kids, it's like, well, I know why my work ethic is where it was because there was no other option.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I don't wish any of
I don't
that
want my
upon my
kids
own
to- yeah.
children, you know? So it's like, it's that catch
Now
22
you're
of
like,
like,
I
now
have
how do I
to-
raise kids that aren't entitled, that still have the same work ethic, but are like not going through all of the emotional and all the
Yeah.
other stuff too, you
Yeah.
know, and feeling safe.
Yeah.
Like I think that's really important because sometimes I think when you don't feel safe at different parts of your journey, it's like that's what has you chase safety. And like sometimes even for me, it's like financial safety of like I will always have reserves in accounts that aren't invested, aren't in real estate, aren't somewhere I can't grab right away. Could I be making a lot more money on this big account? It's in a high yield, so like at least there's something happening there. But could I make a lot more money if I was investing in other places? Yes, but that is peace of mind.
Yeah.
Paying off my student loans wasn't like both my financial advisors at the time were like, no, that's not the smart thing to do. Look at the percentage of your student loans. Look at what you could get a house for, and all that stuff. But I was like, that was peace of mind. That was a weight. That was an energetic weight that opened up so much space. So it's like, I think it's just really analyzing for yourself.
There's
too.
not a one size fits all.
And
That's
I'm
so true.
like that because of childhood.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like that because I don't want to end up in a place where I don't have not only an emergency fund, but like I can help other people fund
Yeah.
when a pandemic
They
hits
need it.
or
Yeah.
when whatever, a recession hits, you
Yeah.
know. It's like I don't want to be lean and just have all these assets that, you know, I think that's what happens in a recession too. The stock market, obviously, people always say I lost this much in 2008 and I'm like, did you sell?
Yeah.
Literally,
what I
that's
mean?
what. Yes, you
Don't
yes.
open up your investments. Don't open up your reports. You know,
Those-
like
yeah, those-
Did you sell?
It's like Bitcoin when it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I didn't lose money. I'm not selling that thing.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Like I was like, I have had some crypto though that has gone under. Like they dissolved it
Tanked?
or that. Yes. So I'm
Were
like.
you on like some altcoins and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. In Coinbase, and I'm like, oh, I should have been watching these because I
Yeah.
have had that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
just basic Bitcoin.
Well, and I think it's like
Yeah.
that should
Yeah.
be taken in a scope of like I'm willing to like this is a fun indifferent to it either way. This is a high risk. I'm willing to like peace of mind. If it keeps you up at night, this isn't the season for you to be doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same
Yes.
thing with a rental property like an Airbnb. Like if it's gonna keep you up at night or strap any of their things, like this is not the season for you to do that. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yep. Totally.
but-
I know. With everything, it's like just because your mentor is doing this, just because everyone's buying Bitcoin at this time, just because it's like you have to like this is the thing I think with moving into a recession is like you have to audit your personal and your business life. Like you just have to do a full on audit and then you can start making really informed decisions for yourself and for your business. Like does this make sense for me right now? Would this be a smart decision right now? Have I covered certain bases of your emergency fund? Have I covered off, you know, like you know,
yeah.
there's a
so
lot
cool.
of financial advice out there that's wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild, you know. And even with flipping properties, like remember the BRRRR method, like BRRR? It's like you just keep borrowing, you put it in you upgrade the house and then you borrow back from the house and it's like you're leveraging debt, which in certain markets works out great.
Really great,
You know?
yeah.
But it's like if you're practicing the advice, I just think about this right now. What got us through 2022? Like 2022 was a great year for a lot of businesses because money was being injected into the market in 2021. Some of like people were getting checks in the mail.
Yeah.
So it was really stimulating a lot of the small businesses. And it's like what got you through 2022 will not get you through the end of this year or
it's like
next
fake.
year. Like you cannot keep doing and expecting those same results because the environment is different. You can feel people tightening up. People are tightening up. People are aware because everything is going up. Their eggs, the cost of eggs are going up. Like everything is going up.
Yeah.
And the job market isn't as great.
I know,
You know,
right?
like the job market is a totally different place than it was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's our decisions have to evolve as business owners in how we run our businesses.
Yeah, 100%. See, this is the most, like, the coolest part, the dopest part about Twitch is like,
That's what I'm saying.
we
We
just
have to
like,
get that.
we're just like talking all the time like this, right? And those are the moments that you're like,
Shout out
that's
to
the
Jeremy.
real- that's the real talk.
Yeah.
Like, that's the real
Appreciate you,
talk.
Peyton.
As much as like we sit down authentically and will Like we just spit on the couch, like real talk.
Mhm.
But like
People love that.
you
People
walk.
love the real IRL content, like we talked about.
Yeah, we all
Let's
do.
sit
It's,
down
and
like
those
formal.
are the conversations that like
We should
help
go
us a
pull
ton.
our old content from when Peyton was here and we were in pajamas and like on the coffee table, like
Yeah,
all of that, and see if there's more from that we could put out too.
totally.
Because I feel like we have good
A lot.
for Kairos, some good
Yeah,
stuff there too.
To help them.
I
Yeah.
think we're twitching right now.
Yeah.
That's a funny way to
Yeah.
say it.
Yep.
I think what I am constantly trying to be aware of, especially with Recession-Proof, is like just in general, like what we all talk about, a lot of people who are business owners aren't interested in at all. It's like just so, not in a, I'm not saying this in a negative way, not saying it's over their head, but it's like they are drowning already, that they're like, oh my
I can't even be
goodness.
thinking about the
I
recession.
like that sounds
Yeah.
great. I'm proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
Or like CRM, you know, like, oh, I know I should get into that. I should do that. And it's like, I don't know when I do that. Like that's what they're thinking. And so right now it's like figuring out how to help and support and help them see like this is turnkey with you guys. You know what I mean? It's like just follow these steps.
Yeah, you don't
And it
have
will
to
work.
think
You
about
don't
it.
need to go in and learn how to do all this stuff yourself.
Oh, you
It
shouldn't.
is like, yeah, it is just escalating and quantum leaping because you purchase the product and show up
Yeah, you have to show
and
up.
execute, or have someone on your team execute.
Yeah.
But it's like then you're not going to be worried about other things later.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you get your marketing in place now and you explore like, do Meta ads work for you? Does Google ads work for you? Do community events work for you? Do like, is it more in-house, out-of-house digital? What is it? Is it your Instagram? Is it collaborations? Like what works for your specific business? And I have 4 office locations in different areas of Colorado that have primary, like some Google ads kill it. Others, not at all. Not at all. So it's like what works at one business that's in the same company,
Crazy.
an hour away, that marketing doesn't work for the other business at the same level. So it's like what works for that business? What's different about that community? What's different about the demographics down there? Who are we serving down there?
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like
good.
learning how you need to communicate and connect, and like taking the time right now before the recession hits is my thing. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
figure this out right now, when later it's going to get more expensive to be running ads.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to, at least you know what you're tapped into. You build your list, then you start to utilize your list in your CRM, and you nurture it.
Yeah.
Build
Oh,
the
yeah.
list now instead of when it's do or die.
Yes, when
and
it's-
it's a long game. That's the thing. A lot of marketing, like with building our own Instagrams, that is a long game.
Twitch.
Like it's
Twitch right now is a
Twitch.
lot.
Yeah.
We talk about. I'm
It's
talking
a
about
2
3
to
years
3
from now being able to
Yeah.
start to maximize what we're doing.
But
on here. It's
people
like,
get bored. People are
Yes.
like, it's
Yeah.
not working. It's not working.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you have to, first of all, analyze, take a second, why is it not working?
Yeah.
Oh, your links are broken. No one's even getting follow-up text. Like,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to analyze the system, look for the
Little
constraints.
things, snowball.
Why is it not working? Because if it works for however many other companies, it should be able to work at a certain level for you.
Yes.
100%.
But it is just like, it's problem solving.
People
It's
don't-
problem solving, and it's being able to adapt and move and change things and
Yeah.
take risks. But don't throw $10,000 on something. Put $100 on it and
Test
see
it.
if test it, then beta test it, and then continue to grow. It's not the dollar amount you throw at something. If anything, that's a huge risk, and that's what happens when you get desperate in a recession.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, this coach said that they can get me to this level, and
Yeah.
it's gonna get, and it's like you're
It's
putting
not overnight.
literally
It's
all
not-
your eggs in
No.
one basket.
Yes.
Eggs you don't have.
Yes.
You actually can't afford this coach.
Yes.
So you're gonna go rob Peter to pay Paul and put all your eggs in one basket instead of putting them into yourself now, being a smart business owner, planting all the seeds that are going to grow.
Mustard seeds.
Yes.
Sadly, when other businesses are dying, and like that scares me because I love my community. Like I love where I live. I love my community. I love all the small business owners, and it's like I know they just don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know these. They no one's told them these things. They're in their business, and they have no idea. Like think of the cafe. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like all the little cafes and coffee shops and mom and pop places in the area that have been serving this community for 30 years, you know, and it's been passed down, and their parents might have known, or they still have the same accountant that their parents had
Yeah.
and have never done tax strategy. Like
Yeah.
they're just playing by what one accountant says for 30 years plus, who hasn't kept up with tax code, who's, you know, it's not like they're not a bad person like your accountant or whatever,
Oh,
you know.
yeah, no.
It's like they're just doing the steps
What
of what
they
they were
know.
told to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like an old school chiropractor to me. It's like if
Yeah.
you've been seeing the same chiropractor for 30 years and they adjust you the same way every single time, and they're not going and leveling up and learning more,
growing.
like adding
Yeah.
technology to their practice and having new techniques and tools in their tool belt. It's like you're gonna
So
get the
true.
same thing every time,
And like I think just what you just said right there is a few things. One thing, you birth things out of not only necessity, but truly like wanting to help.
Yeah.
So like it's so
Yeah.
cool like you being able to have delved into your own businesses, because I also want to learn from the person that's actively doing and has done it.
Yeah.
And you just did it, and now you're taking that and going like, I know that people need to know this, and I know how much that this will impact them if they have these tools. That's like, wait, fitness. It's like, I
Yeah.
literally didn't know. Like that sounds
I
silly.
know.
But like I
Yeah.
didn't know what a macro. I remember being a teenager and like just eating mac and cheese or potatoes or doing a bunch of cardio, and like I'm like, I literally didn't know. That sounds silly, but
That's
it
so
isn't.
common,
It's
though.
so like vulnerable.
Yeah. Yep.
And the same thing for a business owner. It's like, guys, it's okay. Like, let me teach you these things and don't get overwhelmed. So I love that you're making that accessible to anyone and any business, because we say this, that we have a lot of different businesses: physical therapy, chiropractic, cafe, real estate, online. The core of business is all the same.
Yeah.
So like those like biblical principles, right? Like we can't wait until we can delve more into just giving back and doing more like that sort of work. But like it's all the same.
Right.
So the same thing, like you're teaching the same thing to them to help impact their businesses, which is so coming from someone that's actively doing it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you.
It's just so good.
I just think we all deserve the playbook. Like we all deserve the insight, and like so much of what I've learned over the years is because of the obsessiveness of like, I'm gonna read that book, I'm gonna go to that conference, I'm gonna pay the money to get in the room.
Yeah.
But then it's like you get in the room and it's one nugget. You pay all this money and it's one nugget, but that one nugget is a game changer. Can you see my messy bedroom?
No, you can't see it.
Real life.
Just in
that
case.
That
I
one
don't know.
nugget is a game changer, though.
Yeah.
It's like that one thing, and so that's where I feel like put that all into this playbook that is accessible to a small business owner of any size, and that they can utilize most of the framework in the Rewire method. And so it's like just allowing everyone to have access to that without having to go to, honestly, I don't even know, 100 other things that I've gone to. It's like, let me just share what has worked. But then I also realized, like, once I moved to 4 clinics, I was like, people used to coach with me because they wanted to hit 7 figures and they knew I'd hit 7 or multiple 7 or whatever. It was like looking up to like, what do I want to do? Well, now with like multiple brick and mortars, I'm at this point where I'm like, I don't think very many people should do this or want to do, like, don't idolize what I'm doing right now, because I'm like, this actually is a whole different level of challenges. And if you want to continue to be more and more challenged at the next level, and it's not always times 4 of what your profit was. That's not, it's not
linear.
It's not just 10x this. It's 10x employee problems. 10x all these other issues. 10x all your fees on everything that you're paying for. It's like, so I just think now I'm like, okay, what can I share that I've learned at a different level that I can share with anyone who is just starting out, or 40 years in their family business, and most of the time they just feel embarrassed that they don't know something. I've felt that multiple times where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look stupid asking this, like they're gonna think I'm an incompetent business owner, or that the amount of people who don't understand their P&L. I feel like 90% of business owners don't understand P&L, and that's fine. Right? Again, we got into business for like a purpose and a passion that is our business and what that offers people and the service that it offers people, not to be able to read a P&L, not to be able to run our metrics in our spreadsheet, not to be able to have sequences that we're following up on our funnels built out and all of that sort of stuff. So it's like, that's okay, we didn't, but like you deserve to tap into all your business, your team deserves to tap into all this. You deserve to know tax strategies, because you shouldn't be paying more taxes than Jeff Bezos, than Elon Musk. You should not, as like a local business owner.
It's crazy. And what you said too, like, so powerful, is when you go to these events that you pay a lot, top dollar for, I need one thing. I need to walk away with one thing out of 10x business. like it's just wild how people come in and they think that their mentor, their coach is just going to give them everything that we can't go do the work for you. Like you can't go do the work for them. So make sure you're paying attention whether that one thing's coming from a question that I answered for someone else's business or something. But people aren't even looking for that one nugget. So if you're not looking for it, you might get to the end of the program like, I don't know if it was worth it. I don't know. Like it's like you didn't go through with the right mindset.
Yeah.
Like I'll pay, like when I paid $20K for my first mentor, not my first one, but when I graduated, I wasn't even graduated yet. I paid for the $20K program because I was like, I can go try to learn the physical therapy, cash-based business on my own. And it'll take me 10 years to like get to where I want to be in 1 year. Or I can find someone who's been out doing it for 20 years and they can teach me how to do it in 1 year.
Yeah.
So I would rather pay for the speed rather than pay for the time.
Right.
So many people are willing to pay for the time, but they don't want to pay for the speed, but they're not looking for the right thing. It's like I'll pay $20K anytime for one nugget.
Yeah.
And I basically got in that program so I can set it up legally.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the side of like I do things and ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how do I like sign up for my license? Do I need a license for my business? Do I need to like document this way if I'm not taking insurance? It was all those little things. I was like, I know how to market, but like I just want to make sure I'm not gonna go to jail. So I paid $20K for that basically.
Yeah.
But I got there faster, but people don't want to do that. Wrong mindset. They pay $20K and like, well, what's in it for me? How much should I get back in return for this? I didn't ask any of that. I was like, here's the $20K, teach me what I need to know.
Yeah. I've also paid a lot of ignorance tax too, where I have paid significant amounts.
Crazy.
To me at the time
Both
to
ways.
be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I paid all this. And like sometimes it's that awareness of like, not to be like, I knew all of this. It's not an ego thing, but sometimes you're like, literally like my playbook actually looks better than this playbook.
It validates you as a business.
It does.
Wait, I'm the real deal. Wait,
I'm like,
that's what
great.
they're teaching?
I paid $40K to validate myself.
Yeah.
Like, I already know how to use Claude and ChatGPT and Perplexity. Like, I thought I was getting next level in this. You know, it's like those things where you're like, okay, I guess I'm already doing this. But then it's like that switch for yourself of like, if I already know this, like, why am I not at maybe the level of the person I just paid that money? Why am I not charging these prices to teach other people this? It's like, it's kind of that switch that kind of checks yourself too. But it's like the ignorance tax I've paid is now where I'm like, I'm not gatekeeping like with my financial advisors, you know, it's like, I didn't know that they were getting that huge of a cut off of products they were selling me. You know, it's like just once you have this awareness and you're like, oh, I got to share that with other people. So they get the heads up on that so that they don't have to pay the same amount I paid.
Do you pull all your stuff from like financial advisors and put it straight into like Robinhood or like things like that are more direct?
I haven't pulled it all from them, but I did have like my first financial advisor when I moved here. I had some accounts for the kids set up that I didn't remember setting up or whatever. And I was like, oh, can I get logins? Can I get like, you know, I don't know, 6 years later or whatever. And so I got in and I saw it all and I was like, over this many years, that's all it's grown. And it's actually done better in this last year when like the market is more volatile. And so I'm like, I could have like what I've done on my own or with my other financial advisor, it's like, oh lordy, like the ROI would have been a lot better if I was doing like real estate with, you know.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I'm like, what would I do? I was telling
Dr. Lauren says hi.
Literally, what?
She's on.
Hey, Dr. Lauren.
Hey.
Let's go.
Woo! I was like, which Lauren?
How is it?
Is that
Lauren Brunswick?
Oh, let's go.
I
I was like, which Dr. Lauren too? I was like, wait, that's not. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Lauren, is it you
She's
or is
like-
it Kirby? Because I feel
Kirby's out here doing
I
it.
don't know what this is, but get me
We're
signed
talking
up
next
for
level.
Twitch.
Kirby would totally have Twitch.
Yeah.
Lauren,
So
did you
funny.
just sign up for Twitch or are you like a secret gamer over here?
Yeah.
I feel like a creepy stalker.
Stalker. Welcome to Twitch. Welcome to AIRL.
Okay, Lauren, we can log into yours when you come here.
Yeah.
We can Twitch.
We
when
need to
you're
like
here.
collab. We talked
You
about
guys
that.
we can all collaborate when you're here, and
Just
we'll go
sign
live
up for
together.
these two.
Just signed up for these two. Oh, we literally said we did this. You need to be on it.
That's
and then
the homie. Yeah.
Lauren's gonna be a
We
beast at it.
literally,
Just like
Lauren
doing your hair,
Brunswick
talking like
and Elise
Yeah.
both
need
need
to
to
be on
Twitch.
it. It's early, but I'm telling you, in 3 years,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna
Lauren,
walk around like this.
we literally we're like, you
Live
need to
streaming.
do this. You would crush it. Like, you would crush it.
Oh my gosh.
I think we
That is
have
so
more
funny.
fun seeing like fun things for other people.
Other people.
Yeah, we're like, can we be your guys' videographers?
Shout out to Jeremy as well. Jeremy's in our school group.
Oh,
School
let's go,
community.
Jeremy.
And he said, what's up?
That's awesome.
Held
Yeah,
on,
I want to
Jeremy
talk.
from the HBA Mentor Group. He's in Denver. Looking forward to the next meeting. So many questions.
Ooh, where are you,
Let's
Jeremy?
go.
Where are you at in Denver?
Wait, are you a Chiro or PT?
Oh, he's the PT. He's
PT.
starting. He's the one that's gonna
Oh
start.
yeah.
and like sports and stuff too.
Ooh,
Right, Jeremy?
sweet.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
go. Dr.
Because
Rose.
I even think of that with like my girls' accounts. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about that and bookkeeping next. Because I'm like, the long term of it, I'm like, I feel like real estate, especially if stuff goes, I'm like, I've got the cash heavy to like,
It's the diversification of it all too.
Yeah.
But real estate feels less volatile to me as long as you're not like leveraging a significant amount of, like as long as you're not
you
so
can pay all those leases
heavy on
or,
the yeah.
your debt to like,
Yeah.
owing
yeah.
whatever ratio.
Well, and I
Yeah.
don't know. I end up putting like 25% down, which so many people put a lot less. But I'm like, at least then I've got equity in this thing, so it doesn't feel as risky. But that's not a lot. That's not reasonable to get tapped into real
And
estate
it
at that
depends.
percentage.
This is where it's just not linear. Like even my primary lake house, it's not linear. Like you can't go out and do the same thing because it was so stacked with like my best friend with a high-end rental. We do direct books. Like we're getting the deposits for next year right now. And it's multiple
I wish you could
four
share people who have
figures.
stayed there.
NDAs.
Abby's had to sign NDAs because celebrities have stayed in her house.
But
I
like-
can say that.
But someone absolutely.
We can say that.
But someone that
People,
like
everyone knows.
someone that looks
Who's
at
a
that
millennial.
might be like, oh, a lake. Oh yeah, you guys, we all know them.
We all know
We
them.
all know them. But someone that like looks at it might be like, oh, I want to make that. I want to do that. Like that's why I love sharing more of our very like, you can do this. Like that one though, if you shared it just without the context, you'd be in a very different boat. Like, okay, Airbnb isn't going to give you that money. They're going to take a fee. It's not till next year. They can cancel up to. Way different ballgame, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is happening across the board with lots of different things, is how it looks on the exterior, what you share as a stat, the behind the scenes of how that was achieved.
Yeah. I
It's
do
way
think when you see real estate and people are like, oh, this is how much I brought in from real estate. This is everything though. I mean, this is every business. They always give the top line number. And I'm like, okay, what about
Break
after
it
you
down.
paid your mortgage? What about after you've paid all the expenses, the HOA, the landscaping, all of that sort of stuff? Like, what did you actually cash flow?
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like it goes to the vanity numbers versus the sanity numbers again of like the reality, because some people are just so like they buy in instantly. Like they think, oh, I just gotta get into Airbnb,
That's
or I
it.
just gotta
Yeah.
get into this one thing. And it's like, oh, you're only seeing this one number in one area.
That's
You know,
what
it's
will be,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
and that's what will be really cool, like with our data increasing across things, is like our new data tracker on properties and stuff. We'll be able to share everything with people, and that helps a ton. Like even our inner circle, or when we work with people, I'm like, let's break down the numbers and all the stuff that I didn't realize were costs on it, and what I would have done differently. And like, you do so many deals, and I know you're the same way, whether you're on biz buy sell or profit P&L statements, or for me real estate. Like I'm just like constantly calculating them in different areas, and it looks great. Like I wanted to get into like Texas market and Florida market. It's not worth it. I told them, I'm like, my ego wants this because I want a dope property.
Dude, some of those Texas homes, I'm like,
Crazy.
they show up on my Instagram and I'm like, that is
But then
sweet.
the ROI on these little dumpier, smaller Midwest Airbnbs that are providing housing for blue collar workers is crazy. I was like, why would we go do something when it's like right here working? You
Or
know what I mean?
Section 8, like getting into Section 8 housing, it's guaranteed income coming in.
It's like pick
When
your
you
game.
own that property,
Yeah.
it's like the federal government is writing you checks.
Crazy.
You know?
I know
Yep.
that's a game.
Yep.